Well, hello there, Virgo. How are you? It is so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So, today we are doing your March 2025 reading. We'll take a look first at the overall energy with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details. So, let's jump into it. Let's see what is on the horizon for you. Ascending the mountain, keep going forward. Okay, now this is a beautiful energy of letting you know you are on the right path. Okay, but as we're ascending the mountain, right, it takes sometimes a lot of effort, and it's the energy I'm getting. I keep hearing summit. So the energy is you're almost at the top, but you may feel tired at this time, feeling like I don't know if I have what it takes to finish out something, right? So this can be a project, launching something new, creating a new life for yourself, right? Looking for love. It's kind of like understanding that you are on the right path. Yeah, Crow Spirit, co-create with Spirit. Spirit is trying to help you. Spirit is trying to come in, and there's almost this energy of synchronicities in your life that are letting you know you are on the right path. Allowing yourself, though, to connect to those synchronicities, right? Sometimes we kind of like put the blinders on, and we don't see that Spirit is really and truly trying to help us as we're moving forward. This is a little bit of an energy where Spirit's asking you to just be a little bit more aware, perhaps, of their guidance, because they're trying to make the last bit of this journey easier for you. It's almost like you're cutting off your intuition or cutting out your guidance from Spirit, kind of feeling like, well, I put so much time and energy into this, or feeling like, there could be people even in your life that are trying to help you, but you're in your hermit mode, a little bit in your hermit mode, right? By yourself, feeling like you're by yourself, and yet at the same time you're not. And especially with your spirit guides and angels, they're there. They're wanting to help you. It's almost like, yeah, you're trying to cut it off. Wow, miracles. Look at that. Yeah, you have the energy of love too. There is a little bit of an energy of love coming in here. A miracle, perhaps in a relationship or a situation that you didn't think could happen, right? So it's a little bit of understanding that all the hard work, the healing that you have put into yourself or into a project, into a relationship, into trying to create something new for yourself in your life, it's almost as though look, the victim mentality. I feel like for some of you, I'm going to take that because it dropped out. Yeah, fragmented energy, right? It's kind of like concentrating on how hard the journey has been instead of like, okay, it's kind of like you're almost to the top of the mountain, but the story you're telling yourself is how treacherous it has been climbing this mountain. I'm not saying that it isn't, all right? It's been such a long, hard journey. It's very much the Nine of Wands energy. Long, hard journey that you're not noticing. You only have a little bit to go, and you're going to reach your destination. It's almost like you're standing there and you're looking down at how difficult the path has been, how rocky the path has been, right? How steep it has been. And you're focusing on that. How much time, how much energy, how much love, how much just having to keep going. That energy of, look at how much I've had to spend on this, whether that's time, energy, love, or resources, but not seeing that you only have this little bit more to go. It's focusing on where it is that you want to go instead of focusing on the difficulties that you have encountered on your path. They just see, turn your head. This is almost like there is a little bit of, and I say this because I have a Virgo North Node. It's a little bit of being stubborn, okay, in saying, I'm going to do it my way, right? And here is Spirit saying, we have an easier path for you. And you're kind of like, well, I've got myself this far, so I'll finish the journey my way. This is a kind of an interesting energy. I can totally relate to it, right? It's kind of like the shadow side of Virgo, and because it is my north node, it plays a lot in my life. So the shadow side of Virgo is wanting it to be perfect, or over analyzing it, right? It's kind of like allowing yourself to get 90% done with launching a book, a project, a website, a new business, a new love affair, right? And then stopping, because it's kind of like that last 10% means that you're going to spend as much time, you can get into the energy of spending as much time on that last 10% as you did on the first 90%, because you're trying to make it perfect. Asking yourself, why are you in this cycle of trying to make that last 10% perfect, or over analyzing it, right? Being fearful of rejection, being fearful of allowing yourself to see what's going to happen, right? It's almost like overly protecting yourself, maybe, from what may happen when you get to the summit, when you actually launch something or put yourself out there. It's kind of like, but then I'll know whether it's going to be successful or not. So it's kind of like inching your way, that last 10%. This is Spirit saying, we're with you. It's going to be okay. Allow yourself to trust in the universe. Allow yourself to kind of surrender to whatever is at the top, and not allowing yourself to just spin your wheels this last 10% of the trip. Because look at what it is. It's understanding. It's kind of like you can't feel the joy of reaching the summit, okay, unless you allow yourself to go this last 10%, right? It's moving on from all of the agony. Five of Swords, this is the energy of daytime agony, right? Daytime anxiety, all those monkey games, that mental energy that we spend turning over and over again, trying to make something perfect, or over analyzing it, scrutiny, being very, scrutinizing every single little aspect of it, or wanting somebody else or something else to be perfect before we're willing to allow ourselves to put time and energy into it. This is like, get back into your heart. Love yourself. Love yourself for the journey that you've taken to get this far. Love yourself for what it is that you're putting out there. Get back into the energy of finding joy in what it is that you're wanting. I feel like this is a little bit of perhaps, something that you have been working on for a long time. I want to say, once again, it could be a creative project. It could be launching a business, a new career, writing a book. There's something here, but I want to say, I feel like it's a little bit of something that's near and dear to your heart. And understanding that you can't feel the joy of the success because you have the miracles card, and I'm going to tell you the final card is the sun, right? It's all the happiness, the joy, the fulfillment, the abundance, the prosperity that you are desiring. But it's almost like you're preventing this from coming in because you're caught up in the mental games of overanalyzing it, right? Critiquing it, critiquing it, right? Wanting it to be perfect. And once again, I was actually journaling about this morning because my Virgo North Node seems to be rearing its head right now. And it is a little bit of understanding. In the past, I have been able to push myself that, let's say, the last 10% and get the job done when somebody else set the deadline. Okay, and I have some significant things that I have, in a way, accomplished, okay? And in the past that I thought I could never accomplish, but it was because somebody else set the deadline. It forced me, in a way, to get the job done. And at some point, I had to say, this is the best I can do with the time that I have. I'm putting forth the best that I could with the time that I had. right? And then there's something new that I'm trying to create in my life, and I'm having a hard time really committing to it. There is this sense of committing to it. And I was telling myself this morning, I think it's part of, I don't have my back up against the wall. I don't have a deadline, right? And I was even talking to my daughter about this. I was like, I do really well when I feel like I have a deadline. My back is up against the wall. There's a little bit of energy here of allowing yourself to not stick to a deadline, not, and especially if it's something that creative that you're trying to put out into the world. We can spin our wheels that last 10%, right? Because we don't have a deadline, or for me, I set several deadlines and the deadline goes by. Right? It's almost like really allowing yourself to commit and say, okay, I'm committing, because I'm committing to my own sense of fulfillment, of understanding the joy I will feel when I allow myself to put whatever it is that you are wanting to put out into the world. Right? It's kind of like accepting the fact that it doesn't matter what occurs after that. And I'm not saying you're not going to be successful, because you have all of this energy of being successful, right? But understanding that part of it, the joy that you will feel when you allow yourself to share this with the world, whatever this is, and I feel like for some of you, this is you feeling like, well, I can't feel joy, happiness, success, victory. I can't feel that unless everyone is going to love what I put out there. It's looking at this from a different viewpoint and understanding that there is joy in just allowing yourself to put it out there. There's joy in saying, I accomplished that, right? I didn't hold on to it and critique it and criticize it and overanalyze it until until it died, literally, until it died, right? It's kind of like understanding this is the time. Spirit is here. Spirit is saying it is time. It is time to see this in a different light. To know that it is, Spirit is here. It is going to bring you the happiness, the joy, the success, the love, the prosperity that you are desiring. The Sun card with the Miracles card, Virgo. Now, this is really kind of inspiring me, I'll have to say, because it's kind of like understanding we can't feel that sense of happiness, joy, fulfillment, love, unless we actually put it out there. So maybe it's changing the mindset and not worrying about what the reaction from the world will be or from a certain person, but instead understanding that there is joy in allowing ourselves to put it out there into the world. And also that we're preventing ourselves from feeling success in this endeavor if we never allow ourselves to put it out there. There's no way you can experience the success that is available with whatever this project or creative endeavor that you're putting out there, right? Sharing with the world. There's no way you can ever feel the joy and the success unless you do put it out there. So it's kind of like, so what are you waiting for? It's so funny because I did accomplish something that actually was pretty amazing just personally in my life. It's not really amazing to the world, but I did have to work extremely hard for about 6 months, literally day and night, to get something finished. And there was a deadline. I could not put it off. So if I was going to meet the deadline, right, and there were a lot of naysayers saying, Mary Sue, you're never going to get this done. Why don't you cut it in half? And I was like, no, this is something I really and truly want to accomplish. And there was a deadline, and the deadline was set by somebody else, right? So I couldn't move the deadline. And I was saying to my daughter yesterday, it was just amazing that when I put it out into the world, and at the time it was very well received, but it wasn't even that. It was this sense of accomplishment of actually getting it done. Yes, it had been a long, hard road. It had been a very steep slope all the way to the top, right? But the biggest sense of joy that I had that day was not what other people thought of what it was that I had created, but literally the sense of joy that I had accomplished something that I had put my mind to. And I feel like there's something like that with this, okay, is the sense of accomplishment when you say, there it is. Here it is, world, right? And allowing spirit to work its miraculous energy in creating the success, right? It's recognizing you can't feel that sense of accomplishment and success. And you know what? It's going to be even sweeter because of the long road, the steep road. I guarantee you, you've probably experienced that previously in your life, right? It's allowing yourself to say, yeah, that's what I want to feel. That energy of, here it is. I'm willing to share it. I'm sharing it from my heart. I'm putting it out there into the world with love and knowing you are going to be loved back because of it. Yeah, meditation, insight, acceptance. Yeah, acceptance. Accept others and yourself and welcome new opportunities. I feel like that is part of it, is accepting it, even if it's not completely perfect, right? That day that I put, I completed my thing and put it out into the world, it wasn't completely perfect. I wish I had just another week or another month or another year. But then how long does that go before we finally and truly say, okay, I can't experience the next thing until I allow myself to put this one out into the world and see what happens. And I'm telling you, I'm coming back to this, Virgo, because I know this is really important to you. This is something that's near and dear to your heart. This is incredible energy. You have love, you have miracles, you have the sun. This is the outcome. Allowing yourself to feel that. Allowing yourself to say, I don't want to feel this anymore. Instead, this is what I want to feel. And the only way to get there is to allow yourself to share whatever you have been working on for a very long time, putting it out into the world. Don't worry about it being perfect. Don't worry. There is no perfect. So when we allow ourselves to really recognize there is no perfect anything, perfect person, perfect anything. It's allowing yourself to say, yes, it's ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to experience this. All right. Okay, Virgo. What a beautiful energy. All right, let's pull a final card for you for some final advice. And I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Let's see. When I introduce joy to a situation, I change the vibrational frequency of what's happening around me. That is the thing. It's about feeling the joy. It is really and truly feeling the joy of what you have created, not focusing on how hard the journey has been. Yes, has it been hard? Yes. But it's about focusing on the joy. Focusing on allowing yourself to put it out into the world in a joyful, loving way, right? You have a love card. Sending it out into the world with love, not a sense of judgment, right? Here it is. I've worked really hard on this. I want to share it with the world. And loving it for what it is. Really and truly saying, this is just, I've worked so hard. I'm so proud of myself. But look at what I've created. I want other people to see it. And that raises the vibration of what you're sending out. If you put it out into the world, right? And you're like, well, here it is. I hope people like it. I don't know. It's not perfect. Then it has a lower vibration. People aren't going to be attracted to it energetically because you're putting it out with that energy of judgment of it's not quite what I want it to be. Instead of saying, you know what? I really love this. I've worked hard on it. I love it and I want to share it with other people. And I'm sending it out there with so much love and joy. when you do that, that is when the miracles happen. Yeah, that's a really good message. I'll have to say, I can totally relate to that. You know, it's kind of like, say you were going to launch a website or something, right? And all you have to do is press the button, but you're pressing it like this. Oh, I don't know, right? It's you're sending it out with a negative energy of, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. This is the energy of, oh my gosh, here's my website. It is done. I am excited. Let's go. And then pressing it, right? Thinking of all of the people, all of the people that you can impact with what you have created, and sending it out with love, saying, I want to help everyone, right? I want people to be impacted by what I have created. I love it. All right, Virgo. I'm getting inspired. I hope you are too. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for being here. I really and truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Much love and light. Bye for now.